Hello YouTube, my name is Nero and today we have some Call of Duty 4 playing a bit of Team Deathmatch here on the map Strike using the golden AK-47, and gold looks so good on the AK in this game. But today is a fantastic day. Today is the day that Raven Software, specifically their lead designer, confirmed that Modern Warfare Remastered will have all the game modes that COD 4 had originally, and more. This is fantastic news. I think a lot of us were wondering about old school mode. This confirms that old school mode is going to be featured in Modern Warfare Remastered. Of course, we're going to be talking about that later on here in the video. But all the little tiny game modes that maybe weren't as popular, they're still going to be there as well. Game modes like Cage Match, which is definitely an interesting decision. I wonder if Cage Match boosting is going to be a very big deal in Modern Warfare Remastered, the same way it was back in COD 4. We're going to have Sabotage back, we're going to have Headquarters back, and we're going to have new game modes. So what did COD 4 ship with originally? We had Team Deathmatch, Mercenary Team Deathmatch, which is the same as TDM except no parties allowed. We had Free-for-all, Domination, Ground War, which was just Team Deathmatch and Domination, but 9v9. We had Sabotage, Headquarters, Search and Destroy, Team Tactical, which was actually a 3v3 mosh pit that had Search and Destroy, Headquarters, Sabotage, Domination, and Team Deathmatch in it. It was actually really fun. My friends and I like to play a lot of Team Tactical because that was like where you went if you wanted to have a really competitive game most of the time. Of course, we have Old School Mode, Cage Match, and then two Hardcore playlists. We had the Hardcore Team Deathmatch playlist as well as Hardcore Search and Destroy. What other things may they be adding to the game? They say that there will be additional game modes available, and these are my predictions. And of course, I would love to hear your guys' predictions down there in the comment section below. But I feel as though Hardpoint is definitely going to make a return. I feel as though Hardpoint is the new Headquarters. You know, back in COD 4, we had Headquarters, which was fun, especially in COD 4. Like, I think the maps are very good for Headquarters. But I feel as though Hardpoint is just a better version of that. So I have a feeling they're going to include both of those game modes in Modern Warfare Remastered. We're going to have to see. Demolition is a game mode that I would also like to see in Modern Warfare Remastered. And the reason why is Demolition was featured in Modern Warfare 2 for the first time, right? And in Modern Warfare 2, they actually remade a lot of Call of Duty 4 maps, like Crash, the map we're playing on here, Strike, Vacant was another one, and I think the final one was Overgrown, right? Those were the 4 maps from COD 4 that they remade into Modern Warfare 2. I may be missing a couple of them, but regardless, because we were able to play COD 4 maps in Modern Warfare 2, we got to experience COD 4 maps with new game modes like Demolition, and I thought the maps actually played very well for Demolition, so I think it'd be cool if they were to add that. And of course, I would like for them to add more hardcore modes. Now, I'm not a big hardcore player. Back in COD 4, I used to play a lot of hardcore Search and Destroy, same thing for World at War, but these days I rarely play hardcore, but I still value all my other fellow COD fans that like to play hardcore, so I feel as though, you know, they should be able to play more than just hardcore TDM and hardcore Search and Destroy. Maybe there should be a hardcore mosh pit, hardcore domination, stuff like that to allow players to actually have a little bit of choice if they actually want to play in the hardcore playlist. This is really good news if you ask me. I'm very excited to see how this is going to play out because of Old School Mode and Cage Match. Those are really weird game modes, right? So Old School Mode is a mode that was actually trying to compete with Halo. Back in Call of Duty 4, which released in 2007, Halo was the big game. So they made Old School Free-for-all. That was a playlist that you could play where it was a free-for-all where everybody had double health. Everybody started off with the same weapon, the Scorpion, and you had to run around the map, and there were perks that you could pick up on the map as well as weapons that you could pick up. You could jump twice as high as normal, your health regen faster, you had double the health. It was basically Call of Duty's take on Halo. Obviously, it wasn't super popular. Not a lot of people played it, and we never saw it in Call of Duty after Call of Duty 4. But there were a lot of really cool glitches that you could do in Old School Mode, both in public matches as well as private matches, because of the fact that you could jump twice as high as you normally could and you had more health, so on and so forth. So I'm wondering if those old school glitches are going to be present. Now, I don't think that Raven Software is going to directly say, yes, there are plenty of glitches in our game, but I feel as though they're definitely going to be there. If the maps themselves are just a scale-for-scale remake of what they were back in COD 4, but with better textures, then that says to me that we're going to be able to do a lot of the really cool glitches from Old School Mode, because the vast majority of them were just nifty jump spots here and there, like being able to strafe jump to a certain area, like we saw how that guy got on top of the building on Crash in a public match in Modern Warfare Remastered. Stuff like that is just easier to do in Old School Mode, so I have a feeling a lot of the glitches are actually going to be there. Now, a fun fact about getting outside the map in COD 4 Old School Mode is a lot of it was really they didn't really do a whole lot to it because there was really no reason to. Back in the day, they had to really try to squeeze as much as they can into the maps based on the hardware that they had. So like on the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, they didn't have really a lot to work with, so they did the best that they could to make the maps as detailed and great as they can. And one of the ways that they were able to do that is making it so outside of the map there really isn't anything there whatsoever, so they don't have extra things to load in that aren't necessary for the playable area. I wonder if in Modern Warfare Remastered they are going to add a lot more cool things to the outside of the map because they know we're going to get there via old school mode in private matches. If I were Raven Software, I'd be throwing Easter eggs galore outside of the maps, like outside of Backlot, for example, outside of Ambush, things like that. Like, it'd be so cool. Like, throw a Raven Software logo on a wall outside of the map that is only viewable if you actually get outside the map. Like, stuff like that, I really hope that they do. Cage Match, that is going to be interesting. So what is Cage Match for those of you guys who didn't play COD 4? It was only available in COD 4. We saw it briefly return as third-person Cage Match in Modern Warfare 2, but they got rid of that pretty quickly. It is a 1v1 game mode. You go in there and you play a 1v1 TDM, I guess you could call it, maybe a 1v1 free-for-all, however you want to look at it, where it is first person to 10 wins. Typically, they play on smaller maps, but very rarely would people actually play Cage Match to go 1v1 random people online. What they would do is have Boost in their clan tag. They'd go in there or just plug in their mic, say, hey man, do you want to do some headshots? And you guys would take turns doing headshots to each other over and over, and that's how people unlock their camos very quickly. It's interesting that they're going to be bringing that back into Modern Warfare Remastered. I wonder if they just don't care that people are going to boost in there, because there's really no way to prevent people from boosting in a 1v1 playlist, right? It's going to happen. Maybe they can have some sort of a thing built into the game that would say, okay, this person's gotten 150 straight kills, all of them are headshots, he's probably cheating, let's give him a ban or something like that. But I don't think they'll do that. I mean, Cage Match and boosting in a Cage Match was always a big thing in COD 4. People did it because they won camos, and honestly, I don't care if they do. It really does not bother me. Now, some people don't want people to cheat whatsoever, and I understand that, but we're talking about people boosting for a camo. Like, people are boosting headshots so they can unlock gold camo or red tiger or what have you. It's not a very effective way to level up. You don't level up very quickly playing Cage Match. Your KD might improve, I guess. That could be bad if they were to do that, because one of my big hopes for Modern Warfare Remastered, and I'm going to be doing a video on this because I have so many suggestions for the game, is that they will actually implement a combat record that you can see. Make it public. I'd be fine for public combat records, but if you want to make them private, I just want to have some sort of a combat record, because we didn't have that back in COD 4. That could definitely skew people's stats that way as well. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with Cage Match. It's definitely an interesting prospect, though. They're going to be bringing back this 1v1 playlist that is known for boosting, but it's definitely pretty interesting. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is basically the end of the video. Now, I'm going to be going on a little bit longer because I've had a lot of really weird personal stuff happening that I want to discuss here in this video, but if you're just here to learn about the playlists and the game modes that are going to be featured in Modern Warfare Remastered, that's basically the end of it. But before you go, I would like to let you know that they announced the official dates for the Infinite Warfare beta. So this was actually released by Call of Duty themselves. The first weekend of the Infinite Warfare beta is going to be on October 14th, running until October 17th, and then the second weekend is going to be from the 21st until the 24th. And yes, because of the Sony exclusivity deal, you're going to get more time with the beta if you have a PlayStation 4 as compared to if you have an Xbox One, and unfortunately, the Infinite Warfare beta will not be available on the PC. I want to make you guys just well aware of that before you go, just in case, but if you want to stick around to hear my story, feel free to go ahead and do that as well. For the rest of the video here, I would like to talk to you guys about my PC, which blew up on me pretty much. So, as you guys know, or I guess a lot of you guys know, I got a new PC within the last month. I was very happy with it. I was playing the Battlefield 1 open beta at max settings and recording at like 120 frames per second. The thing was just an absolute monster. Well, a couple of days ago, and this is actually why there was no videos on either NerosCinema or Nero's Let's Plays yesterday, a couple of nights ago, not last night, but the night before, my PC just randomly shut off on me, which I thought was very odd. And so I go over there and I turn it back on, and I hear a spark, and I instantly smell smoke. And I was like, oh my goodness, no, please don't, please, no. It was fried. I thought it was just going to be the power supply. I wasn't sure what to do. I talked to the retailer where I bought it. I bought it pre-made from CyberPower, because I will not build my own PC. I'm gonna mess it up, guys. PC people say it's so easy, and then I just installing a power supply, it takes forever for me because I have so many things, so many hard drives. And plus cable management. There's a lot to do with it, right? It's just not something I want to mess around with. I'm gonna mess it up. I'd rather have a professional do it and pay a lot extra for them to actually do it, right? So I decided I'm going to ship it back to them, but I have like one final trick up my sleeve to try and possibly save my PC. Because keep in mind, the Infinite Warfare beta is basically right around the corner. It's going to be starting on the 14th, right? And I want to play as much as humanly possible, but we're going to have that happening, so I'm going to be recording a lot. Then after that, we're going to have Battlefield 1, we're going to have Titanfall 2, and Infinite Warfare, Modern Warfare Remastered. All these games and stuff are about to come out, right? I plan to play Battlefield on the PC, so I'm hoping this thing all gets resolved like within a month. So I decided to take it up to a Best Buy, which is about an hour away from me. I drive an hour to a Best Buy. I talked to a guy on the phone. He said that he could test out, he could plug in a new power supply to test it out and see if it's just a power supply or if I fried my motherboard. And so I took it up there, and within like 5 minutes, he's like, yeah, I think it's the motherboard. When we would plug in the new power supply, a couple of the lights on the motherboard would turn on, but no fans whatsoever. My graphics card would not turn on. Nothing turns on except for like 2 or 3 lights on the motherboard itself. And he's like, yeah, I think it actually fried your motherboard as well. Like, it's not only the power supply. And that's really unfortunate. So I'm back on my old PC, and this thing is like an old diesel truck that will just go forever. I got this thing back in like Modern Warfare 3. It was actually picked out for me by Wildcat, and it actually had a terrible graphics card in it initially. Like, this thing couldn't run Minecraft, but it had like an i7 processor, so it was like really good at rendering videos, which is the whole reason I got it back in MW3, because back then it would take me like 8 hours to render a 10-minute video. And so I'm like, can I get an upgrade here? So I spent like all the money that I had on like this $700 PC all the way back then, and I've like gradually made small improvements to it. I mean, I've updated the power supply and I've updated the graphics card to it, and so it gets the job done. I can game, but this thing is so old and just loud. Like, this thing's an old diesel truck, whereas my new computer is like a tricked out Ferrari almost. Like, my new PC is very, very nice. It's very expensive, but it like broke on me immediately, right? Not even within a month of having the thing. Whereas my old PC that I've had, when did Modern Warfare 3 come out? 2012-ish, right? Somewhere around there. It's been like 4 years I've had the thing. The thing doesn't have a fan in it. It has one heatsink, right? This thing came with a heatsink and a power supply, and that's all it has in there. There's no fans, no liquid cooling, nothing like that. So the heatsink is just always roaring. It's just, oh man, it's weird having the old PC back here. I gave it to my brother, actually, because this thing can actually run a lot of games pretty well. It's just not as good as my new one, you know? And so I felt a little bit bad to have to take it back from him, having to have him go back on his old PC that can't like run anything whatsoever for the time being while I ship off my PC to go get fixed. It's just been an ordeal, so I apologize for the lack of videos yesterday. I actually shoot to do at least one video a day on both of my channels, except for Sundays. Typically, I try to just relax on Sundays. I think it's always good, no matter what you're doing, to have a day off now and again where you just don't think about work whatsoever. But I think I'm going to try and get a video out tomorrow to kind of make up for the lack of videos yesterday. We're going to have to see. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to conclude this video. I basically spent the last couple of days, I guess the last 40 hours or so, just pulling my hair out because my PC died on me, and then having to get my old PC back, which I factory reset for my brother, so I wouldn't have any of my YouTube stuff on there and whatnot. So I had to re-download Sony Vegas and reinstall all my Elgato stuff and my recording stuff, and just, it's been a whole ordeal. But yeah, we're all back up and running, and hopefully things are good from here on out. My new PC is under warranty, so once it gets there, they're gonna be able to fix it in 7 to 10 days and send it back, and hopefully it doesn't freaking die on me again. It's just, it's so ridiculous, guys, so ridiculous. But some pretty good news today, actually. Modern Warfare Remastered is going to have all the game modes that it originally had back in COD 4, and I'm very excited about that. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Let me know down there in the comment section below. They said that they're going to have additional game modes in there, so what additional game modes that were in COD 4 originally would you like to see in Modern Warfare Remastered? Drop me a rating. Hope you guys all have a wonderful day.